Hi, this is Judy from Avoca Beads. I wanted to show you how to do the ladder stitch. This is one of the stitches we use in our fringe earring kit. That I thought might be nice to see a video as well as our written instructions. So to do the ladder stitch, what I'm starting with is I have a size 12 needle, some Fireline, and 9 bugle beads. The 9 comes from, that's the pattern, that's how many we use in the pattern of our fringe kit. So I'm going to start to do the ladder stitch by threading on 2 bugle beads. So 1, 2 bugle beads. And I'm going to bring them to the end, still leaving a tail. And you'll see there's 2 there. Then I take my needle and I go the same direction up through the first of these 2 bugle beads. And what you're going to see happen when I do this is the 2 bugle beads will line up right next to each other. So that's the way we want it to look to start. Now this is my tail side. It's a long tail, but this is the tail side. Just so we all have our working piece going the same direction, I will have my tail always on the bottom to the left and my working thread where my needle is on my right. So I'm going to take my working needle, and now that I have this thread coming up through that first bugle, I'm going to go down right next to it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I need it to get through this stitch so I can get our next bugle right next to those 2. So I'm going to pick up another bugle, pull it down right next to this, and I'm going to go through the top of the one next to it. This is where I want it to be next to it. So I'm going to go down through the top of that second bugle, and now I am going to go up through the third bugle. So now I've got it next on the third bugle, the last one I've done, so I can add another bugle. You can see here this got a little stretched out. I just pull it a little snugger so they're right next to each other. All right, so now I'm going to pick up my 4th bugle bead. I pull it down. And you can see now I'm coming the opposite direction. Now instead of going down, I need to go up through the 3rd bead to get that 4th bead to lie right next to the 3rd bead. So I'm creating this nice stack of bugle beads that are right next to each other. That's the ladder stitch. Now that my thread is coming up the top, I'm going to go down the 4th bead, and I'm going to add the 5th bead. I'm going to pull that so it's right next to the 4th bead. So this time, again, if you're confused, always remember our tail is to the left on the bottom. So now that we're on our 5th bead, this time we're going to be going down the 4th bead and then up the 5th bead. We haven't noticed yet, we basically are alternating whether we go down or up, depending on what number we're on. So now we've got our 5th bead on. We're going to reach for our 6th bead. Thread that on. Now this time we're going to go up through the 5th bead. So we've gone up through that 5th bead. And now we're going to go down through the 6th bead. Pick up another bead. This is our 7th bead. We pull it next to it. This time we are going down. So we go down through the 6th bead and then up through the 7th bead. We have 2 more to finish the pattern of the fringe earring. But this is just a demonstration of the ladder stitch. There are many other times you may want to do the ladder stitch. So I just twirled this around. This is a good time to demonstrate. I've mixed this up. Now my tail is on the top. Shouldn't be. Should be on the bottom, just to be consistent with how we're doing this. So I just moved it back to where it should be. Now I'm picking up my 8th bead. And so this time we're going to be going up the 7th bead, pull it snug, and go down through the 8th bead. Snug it up next to there. And then we reach for our last bead. This is our 9th bead. And again, this is last based on this particular kit's pattern. You may be using a pattern that, or making up your own pattern that has more or less. So with this 9th bead, I'm going to go down through the 8th bead and up through that last 9th bead. So now we have finished the latter portion with the bugle beads for the fringe earrings. Again, the tail is down here on the left, and our working needle side is ready for the brick stitch. Will be a separate demonstration. Thanks so much.